All right, in today's video, we're going to go over Sword God Luahn. So, he releases on the 26th, and on his banner, we will have Orvel, Aristella Orbis, him, and some others. So, Orvel is going to be an okay magic DPS for an Awoken unit, and he has great BE output. And then Aristella Orbis is going to be a water damage buffer and a breaker. And then Sword God Luahn, we're going to get into his kit right here. But first, here's his artwork. And then here's a teaser of his SP. So we don't have the full SP yet, but this is like a little snippet of it. So now we're going to get into the kit. So for his slots, he has a 6-star physical at LB6, a 5-star magic, and then a 4-star magic and a 4-star physical at LB7. So you could run like his true weapon in the first slot, and then for magic you could run like a what's the GC equip called? Is it like vulture mask or something like that? I'm not positive. But for his skill, we have an 11-second cooldown, and it's going to increase Dark Allies arts by 3 a second for 5 seconds. And this is Type C arts gen, so it's super rare. So you won't have to worry about it stacking most of the time. Most of the time it's going to stack. And then his art is a 30% physical res, but its multiplier is his HP times 7. So it's kind of like Summer Sestina's, and it's going to hit pretty hard for an art if you can get his HP high. So like if you have 20k HP, this is going to be hitting for 140,000% on an art. That's some pretty good damage. And then his true art is going to increase all allies stats by 30% and their physical damage by 100%. So 100% physical damage up isn't anything crazy like in today's numbers. And then his super art is going to be 15 times the number of unique races in the party. So we got like he's a god, and then you want like a human, a demon, a spirit, a dragon, whatever you can get. You want to make it a little bit more diverse. Obviously, don't play too much into that. The team comp is more important on what they do than what race they are. But it's going to be 15 times the number of unique races, seconds, and it's going to increase his super crit by 50% and all allies crit rate by 100% for that duration. Okay, so it's pretty good. 50% super crit. He's going to be hitting pretty hard. Plus that art, if you can get his HP high, he's going to be doing some good damage. And then his passive, his main passive, if he's the leader, he's going to increase all allies equip CT speed by 50% for 100 seconds. And then all allies crit damage 50% up. It's just a nice passive. It's just a 50% damage boost, like, for free. That's awesome. And then he's going to increase his own arts by 100 at the start of the quest. So, this is how I would use him. I would probably start with a super art for the crit buff, just because it's going to last probably like 45 seconds. And it's going to give him super crit. And then I would do a true art for stats and damage up. And then I would do arts for damage, because I think he's going to get a lot of damage out of his art. And then for team comps, he is only arch-genning for dark units, so he slightly favors being on mono dark. I wouldn't say he needs to be on mono dark, because, I mean, his dark arch-gen, it's only 3 arts a second for 5 seconds on an 11-second cooldown. It's not anything crazy, and no other part of his kit plays into mono dark. So, I mean, it helps him if he's on dark, but it's not too important, I would say. But if he stacks with SGL, he might go insane on a team with her, because they could make stacking equips like the vulture mask. They would make that busted. But there's a high likelihood that he won't stack with SGL, because the devs know how broken stacking equip CT can get. So unfortunately, it probably won't stack. But if it does, I could just be wrong, and it might stack. And that would make equips like Vulture Mask insane. And especially episode 3 of Grand Crusade should be coming out hopefully soon. And then we'll be getting the fire version, the fire physical version of the Vulture Mask. And you throw that on Delta, she's going to be going crazy. But back to Luahn. I would put him on a team with Shadow, Samurai Demon Lord Rimuru, and Gamagori if you need a tank, or Forte if you need more arts and damage. So, Shadow is going to be arch-genning more. He's going to be giving everybody else more damage up. Samurai Demon Lord Rimuru, he's also going to be arch-genning and also going to be giving more damage up. And he's going to give a 30% max HP buff, which will stack with Luahn's 30% stats up. And then, you know, we'll just have a ton of HP, and that'll play into Luahn's art. So, I mean, that's nice. The issue with Samurai Demon Lord Rim is he has a leader skill, but, like, the biggest part of Luahn's kit is his leader skill, just giving 50% equip CT. So you would have to have him as leader, otherwise, I'm going to be honest, he's not doing that much if you don't have him as a leader. And then Gamagori, he's just tanking, you know. He's a tanky dude. And then Forte, she just gives big damage buffs. I can't remember what her true art is. It might not stack with one of them. Let me double check it super quick. Forte's true art is going to reduce enemies' dark res by 100%. So I'm pretty sure none of the other ones on this team have dark res down. I think Samurai Demon Lord Riz has physical res down, and then Lewan has physical damage up. So we should be good there. All the buffs and debuffs should stack. So yeah, that team's going to be pretty disgusting. But in the future, Natasha will come out. I think that's her name. And she'll be pretty good for damage mitigation on this team. But the likelihood of you getting Sword God Luahn and Natasha, like, you got to be pretty lucky. But, I mean, option is always there. So, here is my final opinion on Sword God Luahn. I don't like him that much. I'm going to be honest. His Archgen isn't good enough for him to be considered an Archgener because it's just a small bonus for Mono Dark. Like, it's only 3 a second for 5 seconds on an 11-second cooldown. That's just not very reliable, you know? And then he provides a crit buff that it's cool. It's cool. Mono Dark doesn't have that many crit buffs, I don't think. Pretty much just Ainz and DK Vox. I think those are the crit buffs on Mono Dark currently. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure those are the crit buffs. And then he only has 100% physical damage up. That's not that much in like today's game when we got like 300% ups and 200% ups everywhere. 100% up, it just feels kind of low. But I don't know, he might be doing really good damage, and 100% up might be all he needs. And then the 30% stats, that's just nice. It's a nice heal, and it'll play into his art spam a little bit more. But I don't know. It's nice, but it's not anything crazy. And then the main reason of using him would be his 50% equip CT, so he would have to be the leader. So if there's any reason he can't be the leader, I just wouldn't use him. And I mean, yeah, that's kind of it. But listen here. You must stay focused. Kill a Kill, Platina, and Orvel are coming soon. So save your gems and save your Elk. So if you want to get Hoka, who is the best unit in the game, save up. Just save. Just don't spend. Like, what I will be doing and what I recommend is a single 50 and 2 Elk pulls. The 5k and the 7k Elk pull. That's what I recommend. That's what I'm going to do. And hopefully I get him. I'm not going to be too upset if I don't, but I would like to test him out. I probably wouldn't use him that much if I did get him, but I'm going to be saving all of my Alk for Platina and Orvel because I really, really want them, and I've wanted them for a while. I think they'd just be really fun. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for this video. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, join the Discord, and yeah, that's it. See ya.